I would say my love for Jurassic began in 1994 when the VHS came out, and I got to see the movie for the first time with my dad. I remember going to Kmart and buying the VHS. I begged my mom, please, please, can I watch this dinosaur movie? I remember looking at the back of the box. I was 3, mind you, and a lot of people are like, you don't remember that. I remember it clear as day. I don't know why. It's one of the memories that has stuck with me. And then I came home that night and watched Jurassic with my dad, and my dad went on a trip to Japan a couple of weeks later. He came back with a velociraptor, a T-Rex, a Triceratops, all from the original Kenner line, but the Japanese versions, because he figured I'm in Japan, he really liked the movie, here's some toys, and that's where all this started. So I think that's where my love for Jurassic started. I would say my art started, or my like graphic design passion. I have a passion for graphic design, like that meme. Um, I think that started in 2003 when I was 13. My junior high actually had a class. It was like a trial class for kids that wanted to try digital art and Photoshop. And I think it was like CS1 or 2 back then. That's how old I am. And I loved it. And I remember passing the class. I still have the CD with like 20 megabytes worth of Photoshop files, which is nothing these days. And that's where it started, was that class. And I never stopped. Honestly, I think it was, I always liked movie posters, and this is embarrassing, but I used to make music video movie posters for like Britney Spears and like all these other artists as like fan art. And I would turn the music video into a movie poster. And the funny thing about that is now is I'm doing that for real artists. But the exciting thing with that is when Jurassic World started to come about, I was like, why am I not doing this for Jurassic, just for fun? And I actually posted something on Twitter the other day that was my first poster that I created for Jurassic World, and it's kind of embarrassing. The layout's kind of okay, but the execution not so much. And there's like a big futuristic city on the bottom, and I use like concept art from Jurassic World instead of the actual art. I don't know what I was thinking. And I think that's what inspired me, was all the old VHS covers and the DVD covers from Jurassic and all that. Just all that kind of goes together into making the art that I make now. So that's a very difficult question, because I've seen artists do like really weird takes on Jurassic, and there's some days where I do like my usual thing, and then there's some days where I just do something that's so not Jurassic, but it's a Jurassic poster. I think what makes a Jurassic poster is that Amblin feeling, if you know what I mean. It's like the ETs and Jaws and Back to the Futures and Jurassics, but it's that like blue, moody rain, and then you have a pop of yellow and red. And I've always said this was Jurassic Park is red, Jurassic World is blue. And I think the next phase is yellow, where we're getting like the Dominion and that kind of stuff. So maybe the next phase is a lot of yellows, but I think that's what makes the posters, knowing that balance. Like, you're not going to make a Jurassic Park poster that's like branded blue unless you're trying to go for that take of a Jurassic World Park hybrid type thing. I think a Jurassic poster just has to be something that has it's a mood. It's like a vibe. I don't know how to describe it, but you just see it and you know. That process was so interesting and so out of the box. And I feel like it was a once in a lifetime thing for any poster artist or any artist that wants to be a poster designer. I think I have to thank Colin Trevorrow and Universal Pictures and Jay Bayona so much for all of that. Just flat out, that's the first thing I need to say. Second thing is, I started making fan posters when Fallen Kingdom came out, and the first one, the Rex shot, went viral. I don't know how that happened, because I posted it on Facebook and Twitter and I think Instagram, or I even posted on Instagram like after the fact. And then just people thought and assumed it was official, and it went everywhere. And when the official poster came out, it looked a lot like the poster that I created I created that one in like 5 minutes, literally through open Photoshop and extended it, put on like a little flare, put the logo and the date on the bottom and called it a day, and then just posted it. And when the official poster came out, it looked very similar to the one that I did, but I tweeted out and I said, because people were defending me and saying like, oh, they stole your idea. And I was like, no, this was probably marketing's idea from the start. I just had a good idea. Like I just released it a little bit earlier type thing. And after that, I keep on making more, and Colin and J.A. and Danielle Pianetta and like a bunch of the cast members would share my posters on their Twitters and Instagrams. And I was like, this is crazy. And then the Jurassic World account DM'd me on Twitter and said, hey, we really like your work. The actors really like your work. The talent do, the actresses, everybody. And we want to talk to you about something. And I was like, this isn't real. I'm dying. I was at work. And there was one of my coworkers were sitting next to me and I was like, is this real? What is happening right now? And I got on a call with them about 10, 15 minutes later, and they asked me to create a Fandango poster. When you bought the ticket, you got a free poster. And I went through, I think like 20 posters before that one. And Colin really wanted to post or share a poster I'd already created. And Universal was like, no, we want something new. We want something fresh so that, the fans will actually go out and get it and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of became this hybrid of something I had already done and a hybrid of something brand new. And the hardest part about that poster was they said, no people. We only want dinosaurs. And I was like, how? And they were like, fit as many species as you can. And I was like, okay, how am I gonna do that? Because they gave me a few screenshots from the movie and like, you can't really, it was hard for me back then to like mix and match photos from stills and whatever. And I was like, what about the actor? They gave me the renders of the dinosaurs and they were like, maybe this will help. And I was like, oh yeah. And so I made it. And Avengers was really big that year and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't use an Avengers poster as like a template, but somehow it happened to be very Avengers-like, but in dinosaur form, and people lost their minds over it. And some people really hated it. And actually a lot of people really liked it, which was really nice. And that's how it came about, was I tried to fit as many, because initially my other poster version of that had way more dinosaurs on it. It looks absolutely ridiculous. But the one that actually came about was the one that you see now all over the internet and everything. So that was that experience. And then I got to do Movie Bill as well, which is the cover for that little pamphlet that is like the playbill that you get before you get to go see the movies in the States. And that was insane for me as well, because walking to a theater and seeing all those in everybody's hands, I was like, this is what is happening to me. It's still surreal to me. And I should have like really took in the moment, but it was crazy. Honestly, that's something that I've always wanted to be a part of, is I do so much collecting myself. So it's not like I'm just some, marketing guy up high up that's like, let's put this out and the people will buy it and they'll love it. And it's something dumb and we don't even like it type thing. I actually put my like heart and soul into it, and I was freaking out because I was like, is this good enough? And that was the most important thing. And Colin tweeted after it was released, and he said, a lot of kids are gonna have this hanging in their room, and like I forgot exactly what he said, but it was a very nice message from him. And it really hit me at that point, was, oh my God, a lot of people might have this. They might buy it on eBay later, and whatever, it's gonna be on fake products like blankets and pillows and weird stuff that I've seen on eBay. And that's a sad case for poster designers too, is a lot of your stuff that you post on Twitter and all that, I don't make any money off my posters, at least not yet, maybe one day. But that's another thing you have to worry about, is all these people making fake products out of your stuff. And that's another fun part, is even that fake stuff, it might be in someone's room or collection, but the official stuff, knowing that, I remember at the Fallen Kingdom premiere, there was people, with my poster, like Jeff Goldblum signed this, and Steven Spielberg signed this. I'm like, there's people out there with my poster with Steven Spielberg's autograph on it. Okay, that's crazy. I want one. Can I have one? So it's a great feeling. I started that Jurassic World account because I really wanted to post stuff about my collection and my experiences, and it didn't really mix well with my movie poster account. People came to my movie poster account to see artwork. They didn't want to see Jurassic stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna make a side account where I can like share the silly stuff that I do, and I did not expect it to grow so quickly. I don't know what happened. I didn't buy any followers. There's no bots. It's literally Jurassic fans, and I'm like, oh my god. And you're right. I see younger people. I see older people. I see moms. I see dads. I see people my age. I see a lot of people from the Jurassic community. There's a lot of actors and actresses and producers from the films that follow the account. So I'm like getting all this information from different ages and groups and people. And surprisingly, when I post things on that account, it's always positive. And I'll get a random comment, like one comment out of like 90 that's like this weird negative comment. I'm like, okay, that's nice. I think there's another page for you that you can go on and talk about that stuff. And I've noticed that for some reason, everybody that follows me is very positive. I posted something on for Pride Month, and I was actually worried about posting, something for Pride Month on a Jurassic account because, a lot of fanboys and all these people are usually they don't tend to, like that stuff. And that was one of my biggest posts ever and the most shared and the most commented, and it was all positive. There was some negativity, and that was like drowned out by the positivity. So the one thing that I can say about the Jurassic fandom from all those experiences that I've seen and all the posts that I've done is everybody's very supportive. Everybody's very positive. You know what? There's movie fans that are part of the Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and all these different like fandoms that are huge. And that's what makes the Jurassic fandom a little bit different. It's very supportive. And I think that's why I've gotten to thrive so much, is because everything I post, everybody's like, this is amazing. And if I post something dumb, you actually see the like count goes way down. So you can tell that it's they're very honest and they're very kind and that they're very cool. And they are opinionated, but like in the right way. So they want to make sure that the dinosaurs are right. They want to make sure that the toys look right, or whatever it might be. But they're not evil, which I love. I love that the Jurassic fandom is pretty great. I would say I love every, I'm a huge fan of every Spielberg movie. I'm a huge fan of, I love Star Wars. I love Back to the Future. I love, there's so many different things that I would love to make a poster for. And this month on my account, I'm doing only Jurassic posters, which is kind of hard for me because I'm like, I want to make something else today. But, I'm sticking to Jurassic June, 30 days of posters. But I think that's the thing. Like I've been making, for music artists, they message me on Instagram a lot and they're like, I would love a poster from you. And I'm like, oh my God, it's you. Like, I'm not gonna name drop anybody, but it's like, I can't believe, like I made something for Lil Nas X a couple of years ago for Old Town Road, which is very ridiculous, but that's the biggest song ever, which is really weird. But that's the thing, I love music, and I love that music artists are like embracing movie posters into music, which is interesting for the music videos. And I think I would love to be a part of any other franchise. Even I love making fan posters for the Fast and the Furious saga, and a lot of people are like, those movies are so ridiculous, and they are. But I got to see Fast 9 actually without the Dominion preview. I wish it had the Dominion preview. And those are the kind of movies that you want to go see in the movies. Like, it was so loud and bright and crazy that it just felt right to see it in the movie theater. So I would love to be a part of, honestly, anything. There's nothing that I would, there's definitely things I would say no to, but most of it is like, all of it is like a brand new experience for me. So it's very exciting. I'm trying to think. I think the message that I want to leave for all the Jurassic fans is thank you for being positive. Thank you for sharing artwork from not only me, but all the other fans that really want to be a part of something. And I think it's really cool that we're different than other franchises and sagas and everything like that. Jurassic started with Alan, Ellie, Ian, and all these characters that were so different. And I feel like that's the case with all the fans too. There's not a Jurassic fan doesn't have to be, straight or gay or, a woman or a man or a boy or a girl. I think it's really cool that it's expanded to everyone. And dinosaurs are not just for boys either, they're for girls too. And I think people are realizing that. And it's grown so much. And I think that that's what I want to leave with is Jurassic is not done. And I think we've learned that hopefully that the franchise is going to grow even after Dominion. And it's going to bring in a lot of fans that weren't a part of it before and a lot of people that are pretty cool. So I think let's expand it. Let's invite everybody. And if you do have an opinion, just make sure you're nice about it, because opinions are important, but the way that you handle them is very important as well. I think that's what I want to leave with.